Hi everyone, Wolflord Rowe here, and today we're taking a quick look at the new Genestealer Cult pre-orders, which have gone live this morning. Obviously first off we have the codex itself. What's really good about this release is that they've really expanded the range this time around. Genestealer Cults, while having to wait a long time for this release, it's really been worth the wait in some aspects, because not only have you got a full new fantastic model range accompanying it, but then the models got some really great rules to be able to use on the tabletop too. So let's dive straight in. First off, we have the awesome looking Atalan Jackals. Atalan Jackals are 4th generation neophytes who form the outriders of their gene sect. They roam the corners of the host planet in search of new regions for their cult to infest. Now, regardless of how these guys perform on the tabletop, which is yet to be seen, they look absolutely awesome. They're really great models. I really like these. Next up, obviously accompanying them, we have the Jackal Alphas. The Jackal Alphas is the undisputed leader of their pack. Not only are they the deadliest and fastest of their kin, they possess nerves of steel and a mind so focused that those of the Ordo Xenos who have seen them work have compared them to Imperial assassins. So these guys, again, looking very cool, are going to be a force to be reckoned with on the tabletop. Next up, the Locust. Stoic and inhumanly patient, the Locust can go from somber stillness to a blur of motion in an eye blink. This sudden eruption of violence is as startling as it is deadly. Like a lictor jumping from the shadows, the Locust makes lightning fast, decapitating strike, their twin sabers flashing through the fog of battle to take the head of their foe. Another very impressive looking model. I like this one too because he actually comes with alternate head options, so you can either have him with the hood up or the hood down. Very nice. On to the Magus. Maguses are psychically gifted and possessed of a supernatural charisma. Their control of the hybrids around them is total. As a prophet of their patriarch, the word of the Magus is law, and their telepathic abilities are more than powerful enough to enforce it. What's nice about this one is that obviously it's a female release. Obviously Games Workshop have been doing a lot to bring out female models going forward. It's nice to have a bit of variation. Something a little different, breaks it up. And yeah, why wouldn't they have female Maguses? I haven't got any kind of problem with that whatsoever. On to the Nexus. The Nexuses act as each Genestealer Cult's central nervous system. They are granted psychometric powers that allow them to absorb the memories and consciousness of indoctrinated organisms, possessing the sensory data into a steady stream of strategic instructions and deployment orders. Well, that was a bit of a mouthful to get full. I really like this. This guy kind of reminds me a bit like an Imperial Guard commander standing there with the holographic table as if he's analysing the current battle. Yeah, that's a pretty cool model. The Sanctus. Sanctuses are the favoured blades of their patriarch, assassins whose task it is to eliminate any who oppose the cultists' ascension to glory. Like creeping shadows, they slip into the most heavily guarded facilities, seeking out their targets and eliminating them with merciless precision. So, yeah, at first I thought this was very similar to the Locust, but this guy's more of an assassin, whereas the Locust, in my opinion, is a bit more of a bodyguard type character. And yeah, you can definitely see he's definitely got the look of an assassin about him. Reminds me a bit like a Dark Elf assassin. Next up, we are on to the Clamavus. The Clamavus is an information assassin supreme, seeding audio viruses into the planetary Vox network and dismantling communications. It is their role to create an aura of fear and confusion that their kin can exploit. So yeah, at first I thought this guy was some kind of cultist chaplain, but what you're actually seeing is, yeah, he's hacking into the networks, spreading all the propaganda, if you like, interrupting their communications. So yeah, he's a very cool lore-wise character. The model is not my favourite model out of the new ones. I think the other ones are certainly better looking, but lore-wise, I think this one is definitely a relevant character to have in a Genestealer Cult. And finally, Brood Brothers. It is a common for the neophyte hybrids of a gene sect's later brood cycles to infiltrate their world's garrison force, or even those Astra Militarum regiments founded from amongst its populace. There, they work alongside the infected humans who side the cult's hybrids yet appear normal to ensure the cult spreads even further. So yeah, obviously very, very similar to an Imperial Guard regiment there. Essentially just a Genestealer cultist upgrade sprue added on the top. So what do you guys think of these new models? Pro, cons, definitely going to be starting a Genestealer army, or not quite your cup of tea? I think there's some fantastic new models. It's just continuing the fantastic momentum, the wave that Games Workshop is riding lately with their awesome model releases. These models, for any Genestealer Cult players out there, you should be very, very happy. Okay, thanks again guys. Please like and subscribe. Future content always coming, always willing to listen to feedback. And yeah, I'll see you again soon.